What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Star Wars Battlefront 2. We are back with light side battle scenarios, and this time we are playing There Is No Try, which obviously is a hint at the Yoda sentence that he says. And we're playing Tier 1 first, no active modifiers. We're going to play with Yoda, obviously, if we get the chance, which we do because it's Tier 1 and we can pick him right away. And it is fun to play with, so that's exactly what we are going to do. So, as with most other heroes and modes, you want to stick to the outside of the map. And since Yoda is a lightsaber character, what you want to do with him is to dash towards the enemy, kind of like this, and then you can defeat them. Because obviously you need to be close to them. You don't really have the ranged options that you have with regular combat classes, because, well, you have a lightsaber. You can use the presence skill every now and then as well. Just make sure you use some of your skills every now and then. Obviously on tier 1 that's not particularly important. Just trying to avoid that guy. And we'll take down these two. Obviously tier 1, as always, is 90% about getting to know the map, getting a feel for the game again. If maybe you had a layoff, maybe you just, it's your first round of the day, you just want to get into it a little bit, so to speak. That could have gone better. I guess kind of. Someone just wiped out our team down there. And the thing when you stay to the edge of the map and to these kind of corners is that you don't have very long line of sight, where you'll be aimed at by the classes with range. So when you spot an enemy, luckily you usually are relatively close to him as well, because you are in the tighter area. That was a bit of a blunder. But you are in a little bit of a tighter area where that doesn't matter as much, because you can just close the gap very quickly, and when you have very long line of sight, then you have a very long distance to cover, so you either have to go back into cover or just accept that you're probably going to take some damage. And we'll see each other with tier 2. Tier 2 is a bit of a slugfest, and to be honest, because we have half player health and weak AI, so everyone dies relatively quickly. It's still better than one shot, but you do die reasonably quickly. But we have fast ability recharge, and you know what that means. Or maybe you don't. I'll explain it. We'll pick assault, is what that means, because we want to make use of these acid launcher grenades. Half player health is an issue, but again, weak AI allows us to really make use of these grenades, especially when considering the fact that we have a fast recharge. I'm just pushed ahead a little bit by our teammates there. And once again we are sticking to some of the edges of the map to avoid the flanking maneuvers. And we're actually going to take the outside path. There is another one coming. Another one could have been problematic, simply because we had to do the cooldown at some point. Obviously the weapons here don't need reloads, we need cooldowns as we use laser weaponry. But the system is the same. That was somewhat problematic, because we finally did get flanked, which I was so adamantly trying to avoid, and now they are kind of getting stuck there in the grenades, which I certainly don't mind. Obviously you should always look at the minimap to see where the enemies are coming from. Having some sense of direction is great there, and that is already the round finished. So really just stick to the edges of the map, play a little bit carefully, make use of your grenades. And that's tier 2 complete. And lastly we have tier 3, we have a 6v8 game, which has a little bit smaller team sizes. Obviously we have the minimap disabled, which is always an issue, double player health and slow ability recharge. Double player health is pretty good, and we're going to double down on that by using the class with the most health, which is the heavy. Because we're probably going to take some hits as we have no minimap. And since we have slow ability recharge, I also don't want to make me rely on my abilities. And Assault's big strength to me in those certain situations is the acid launcher. Now obviously you can use Assault as well, it's not like Assault is entirely reliant on just the acid launcher. It's a very good straight up combat class. But what we need to watch out for is that we are not being entirely surrounded, which is what might happen here. Now we are dropping a grenade, and we are using the shield to kind of save ourselves here. And this is one instance where just having the additional health from the heavy might save your life, because no, this is not good. Get rid of them. This isn't going as planned. What I wanted to say is, when you get flanked like that, you will take hits. And without a minimap, this happens a lot quicker than you think. So preservation is key here. And you don't just add too many diffs. You can sometimes let the fight develop a little bit, because this area up here will be an area of contention. So some patience regarding this is certainly advised. That grenade was a bit of a waste. We're now going into enemy territory here. It's a little hard to tell without the minimap where the enemy territory is exactly. you do need to make sure you add damage here. And you limit your deaths in these situations so that you don't cost too many points to your team. Obviously you have limited lives here, and when your team runs out you lose. So this has been a bit of a weird situation here where we kinda got pinned from two sides, but it turned out a lot better than I initially feared. So making use of the extra health, especially with double health enabled, is certainly a good thing. You've seen how often we took quite a few hits and it really didn't threaten us too much, which says a lot about your durability. Here's wall, when you don't have these perfect encounters, you know, you get shot at, you need to take some hits. That is not ideal. You're more or less alone holding this spot here. And now is the time to make use of the ability, because I have seen several enemies coming. And that finishes tier 3. It was fairly successful. It was very long, but it was fairly successful. So I hope you can do this as well. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Until next time, farewell.